because you know that people essentially just want to profit off the fact that A, the barbs are going to see it and they're going to flood your comments, and B, you're going to have all of the, you know, non-barbs there being like, oh look, waiting for the barbs, or like here come the barbs. You know, it's just a bit weird. I get it, you may not be into Nicki Minaj, but I think antagonizing her fans because she has fans is really weird. Like, there's no need for you to do it. You know that she has fans, you know that there are a large number of them, and you know that if you go online and start saying really negative things about her that oftentimes are completely ignorant, unresearched, just irritating pieces of content, you know that you're gonna get their attention. Like, is it that serious? Is clout that serious? Welcome back to my channel. I am Blessing Makosha, aka Big Money B, because I'm focused on cheddar, I'm focused on cheese, and I don't let a bum chick get a touch up on me. Today we are back in barb professor mode, so welcome to my barb school. We are going to be talking about barb fishing. Now, barb fishing is another term that the barbs have made up, and it refers to when people essentially try and get the attention of the barbs, and this can work in both positive and negative ways. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because in my video I did on JID or JID, him offering Nicki $500,000 for a verse, a lot of people had mixed feelings about his offer and thought that maybe he was just barb fishing. So I asked you guys if you wanted me to do a video on that. You said you did. So here we are. So stick around and keep watching this video if you're interested in learning more about barb fishing and just getting into the discussion about why people antagonize or try and get the attention and support of Nicki Minaj's fan base, what that means for her, and essentially how much more of this we can expect. Make sure that you leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe, and make sure that you do all those things because I need you. It's me versus the algorithm, and you guys are helping me out. So make sure if you love this content, then you say so, and share this content with someone that you think might enjoy it, whether they're a fellow barb or just someone who likes to learn more about hip-hop culture. I want to let you guys know that following our successful series on the channel, NoGhostWriter.com is live, and it's where you can find news, updates, featured articles, and new music reviews, and overall high quality hip hop discussion and discourse. Make sure that you click the link in the description to join our mailing list. We'll give you a weekly update of all of our new posts, and you'll be the first to hear about our merchandise and events. And I did mention that we're having an event this summer in London, so if you want to be the first to know about it, make sure that you check out NoGhostWriter.com and sign up to our mailing list. Also, if you're interested in writing for No Ghostwriter, we would like to work with you. So we're looking for people who have music journalism experience or would like to develop more of their music journalism writing and are passionate about the culture and especially about uplifting the voices of Black women and queer people in hip hop. So if you are interested, click the link in my description to complete our sign-up form and send us examples of your writing, and we'll be in touch and see if you can work with us. We're also currently recruiting for an editor-in-chief to oversee all of the blog's content and pitches. So if you have significant experience in editorial work and want to be involved with a fresh new hip-hop blog, then get in touch with me. The email address is in my description. What is barb fishing? So Nicki Minaj's fans, the barbs, are a ginormous fan base. I'm sure there needs to be some sort of study that gets done into the actual size of her fan base, but let's just say they are strongly in the millions and they support her extremely fiercely. Make sure you check out my other videos on my channel where I've talked about the barbs, Nicki's history with her fans, and just why it's such a strong and powerful relationship. Now, if you just Google barbs or look up news and media article about Nicki Minaj and the barbs, more often than not, it's going to be articles about how the barbs are crazy, psychotic, how they do the most, doxing people, defending Nicki as far as they need to go. And yes, it is true that the barbs are a very aggressive fan base. There are reasons for this, and I especially discussed this in my video on the Nicki Minaj hate train. And I also discussed this in my video asking whether the Barbs are falling apart and just discussing a lot of the trauma within the fan base because of everything that's happened to Nicki in her public career. So despite the fact that the Barbs have been in their own fair share of scandals to go to defend their fave, they are still a really, really big and strong fan base. And a lot of people know that. The support of the Barbs is almost entirely polarizing for especially female artists in hip hop, but for artists in general. Before and after the Barbs is something that artists comment on. Whenever artists have the opportunity and the good fortune to work with Nicki Minaj, that also comes with exposure to their fan base. And artists like Fivio Foreign, G Herbo, Bia, and Megan Thee Stallion have spoken out about how great it is to have the opportunity to be supported by such an active fan base and such a big player in hip hop, because the Barbs are tastemakers, and getting their approval can mean a lot for an artist, especially an artist at the beginning of their ascent into the mainstream. Now you might think getting the support of a fan base, surely that's just a good thing. Why is anybody mad? And I get that, but part of the reason why people were a little hesitant to embrace JID when he was talking about paying Nicki Minaj for a feature and being a big Barb is because of this landmark event of the hate train. So I would argue that before 2017, showing love and support to Nicki Minaj wasn't so political. You always had the elements of things where, because she is an artist that is supported by a lot of LGBT fans, there was your typical homophobia that runs throughout hip hop. But as an overall, most people were very happy to talk about the fact that they have their pink wig on and they know all the lyrics to Super Bass and they're a big Barb. It was essentially cool to be a Barb until after Sheetha, when it wasn't. I go into all of the depth and all of the context around Sheetha and everything that happened in my video on the hate train, so please watch it. It is essential viewing if you want to understand what I'm talking about in this video. But after that happened, now it was uncool to like Nicki Minaj, and that is where the animosity and the tension comes from the Barbs, and why they don't like it when people bait for their attention now. And the reason is that now in 2022, the pendulum has shifted again, and now it's cool to like Nicki Minaj, and people want to talk about how they're a Barb. But in that period of time between 2017 and I'd argue 2019, before she came out with Say So with Doja Cat, there was a lot of tension, and a lot of people were showing Nicki a lot of hate and being very apathetic towards it. You know, with the exception of a very few number of artists like Lil Wayne obviously and Ariana Grande especially, there weren't that many voices piping up for Nicki and speaking out in favor and support of her. And she felt extremely railroaded, and I would say the culture did turn their back on her. And so when people were poking at Nicki Minaj and making fun of Nicki Minaj, and so many artists were, for all intents and purposes, silent on the matter, then it created a sore spot and a chip on the shoulder for the Barbs, because if nobody stood up then, why are you now wanting everyone to know how much of a Barb you are because you see it's cool and it's popular? You know, that is the thing. People within Nicki's fan base don't take kindly to the people who essentially profited off of bashing her when it was cool and now want to flip over and get the support and love of her fans, and therefore the support and love of Nicki Minaj. And I did talk about this in my video about whether Doja Cat is pandering to the Barbs, and Erica Banks also experienced this because she spoke out about how, you know, it's made her upset that she didn't have a Nicki Minaj feature yet, and the Barbs said, look, stop capping for our attention. Similar things happened to Latto, where she was on social media before her album launch. She was going back and forth with the Barbs, talking about, you know, just going back and forth with them, and a lot of people said, you're just doing this for attention. The fact of the matter is talking about Nicki Minaj in a negative way can get the attention of her fans, but directly baiting her fans can lead to a lot of attention for you, even if that's negative. And another way that we see this isn't just with artists, but in my opinion, it's with content creators as well. You know, a lot of people, not just journalists, but people here on YouTube and on podcasts, they know that the Barbs are a really big and active group of people on social media. And they are aware that if they put negative opinions or just polarizing things about the Barbs or about Nicki in their content, it's gonna lead to a lot of engagement for them. And people shamelessly do this, you know, it happens a lot. And being aware of that, and especially as a content creator myself that likes to make content about Nicki Minaj, it is very off-putting, you know, because you know that people essentially just want to profit off the fact that A, the Barbs are gonna see it and they're gonna flood your comments, and B, you're gonna have all of the, you know, non-Barbs there being like, oh look, waiting for the Barbs, or like here come the Barbs, you know. It's just a bit weird. So since so many people jumped on the stopping bags narrative and Nicki is the bad guy narrative during the hate train, you're gonna have to pass a pretty significant reference check from the Barbs if you want to be able to access them these days. I think the fan base has gotten more wise. Perhaps there were times where the fan base was a little bit taken advantage of, but the fan base has wisened up and we're a bit more scrupulous when it comes to who we open the doors to the Pink Kingdom to. So my last point on all of this about barb fishing, now we sort of discussed what it is, before I ask you guys what your opinion is on it, is that I don't like it. And I don't like it for the obvious reasons of, look, it's just not cool to make fun of people who are passionate. I get it, you may not be into Nicki Minaj, but I think antagonizing her fans because she has fans is really weird. Like, there's no need for you to do it. You know that she has fans, you know that there are a large number of them, and you know that if you go online and start saying really negative things about her that oftentimes are completely ignorant, unresearched, just irritating pieces of content, you know that you're gonna get their attention. Like, is it that serious? Is clout that serious? That's why the mantra, and the OGs on the channel know this, the mantra is clout is not currency. Clout is not currency. You know, that's the difference between people who authentically, you know, engage with someone or topics or art or culture that they care about, and people who are just there to get a lick. And it's embarrassing. So that's my first point. I just think it's just embarrassing and people should stop. And as a follow-up to that, another reason I don't like it is because it's just a little bit weird to me, because it's almost as if, because people know that this black woman is safe and secure because she has fans, and people know those fans are black women, LGBT people. They know that these fans are people who represent, you know, the weird and the wonderful, the people who are, you know, bullied, pushed aside. It's almost like people see that and they know that, and that's why they antagonize them. Because if you actually get a bit deep with it, the Barbs represent, you know, a very sensitive fan base of people. And we're not sensitive in the sense that we're weak. In fact, for me, one of the biggest things I take away from Nicki's music is how open she is towards her vulnerability, and through it channels strength. And all of the artists who say that they're inspired by Nicki, who say that she has inspired their craft and their hustle, they all acknowledge that she helped them navigate and understand that being vulnerable is okay, but strength comes in keeping on going. And that's exactly what I have taken away from her music and her legacy. So if that's who you know her fan base is, I just don't think it's cute to pick fun at them, or to deliberately antagonize them, or to play with their genuine open hearts. Because we used to be very open-hearted as a fan base, and I can do another video about how significant the Barbs are to not just the structure of female rap, but the trajectory of hip-hop culture as a whole. And if you guys would like me to do that, then leave a comment and let me know. But I just don't think it's funny. You know, the Barbs are here to stay. the recent study that came out in the UK showed that Nicki's popularity increases by 33% per each new generation. So if the Barbs are here to stay, Nicki's legacy is here to stay. Just stop being weird and bullying people and deliberately antagonizing them. Yes, things can be said about the more negative iterations of the fan base, but that can be said of literally any group of people on the internet. It's the internet. It's not unique to the Barbs. It's unique. It's a common thing for people on the internet who take things too far, and they can have anyone in their Avi. It doesn't have to be Nicki Minaj. It could be anybody. It could be you. So I think growing up a bit is important to deal with this whole barb fishing thing. And as an overall, it's just not cute, and I think it should stop. If you're a genuine fan of Nicki Minaj, your receipts should hold up. And if your receipts don't hold up, don't expect to get the support of her fans. Period. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about barb fishing? Please let me know. If you didn't know what barb fishing was before you watched this video, do you think that you've seen it? Has this opened up like examples of barb fishing that you can think of? Comment and let me know. And if you already knew what barb fishing was, I want to hear from you. What did you think of my thoughts and opinions on it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. As always, you guys, make sure that you leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe. And since you watched all the way to the end of the video, then you probably want to follow me on TikTok. So follow Blessing Makosha on TikTok and check me out on Instagram as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out and stand Nicki Minaj.